I get it. When you're setting up a shop floor or a small welding bay, you see a lot of shiny machines promising to clean weld beads in seconds, but most of them end up being a fancy way to waste time and money. I've spent months watching videos, reading product forums, and even asking a few seasoned welders what they actually use after the hype dies down. The biggest headache is buying something that looks perfect on the listing, only to find it can't handle the real-world rhythm of TIG, MIG, or spot welding. That's why I'm breaking down the HCZKIUJ Weld Bead Electrolysis cleaning machine before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the problem it solves. In a typical production line, after each weld you have a bead that needs to be stripped of slag, spatter, and oxidation before you can move on to the next joint. Doing that manually with a grinder or a wire brush is not only labor-intensive, it also introduces inconsistency. One operator might overgrind, another might miss spots, and the whole process can add 3,060 seconds per weld. Over an 8-hour shift, that time adds up fast and can push delivery dates off schedule. The HCZKIUJ claims to be a time-saving solution, and that claim actually holds water when you look at how the electrolysis process works. It uses a controlled current and voltage to break down the unwanted material without abrasive contact. What makes this unit stand out is its built-in current/voltage regulation. Most low-cost cleaners just slap a fixed voltage on the table and hope for the best, which can either be too weak to clear stubborn slag or so strong it starts to eat into the base metal. The HCZKIUJ lets you dial in the exact parameters for the thickness of the material you're working with, which means you can switch from thin sheet metal spot welds to thicker MIG seams without swapping machines. In practice, that means less trial and error on the shop floor. I saw a small fabricator who runs a mixed metal shop cut their post-weld cleaning time from roughly 2 minutes per joint down to about 30 seconds after dialing in the right settings. That's a tangible productivity boost. Another practical feature is the air power switch. Instead of relying on a dedicated power source, the unit can be hooked up to compressed air lines that many shops already have in place. This flexibility is a real advantage if you're working in a cramped bay where adding another electrical outlet would be a hassle. It also means the machine can keep running during short power dips, which is something a lot of welders have complained about with other cleaners that simply shut off. The downside? You'll need a reliable air compressor that can maintain steady pressure. If your shop's air system is already near capacity, you might see the cleaning cycle pause or become inconsistent. Now, who should actually consider buying this? If you're running a small to medium-size operation that does a steady stream of welds, think automotive repair shops, custom bike builders, or small batch metal fabricators, the HCZKIUJ can pay for itself in a matter of weeks. The key is that you need to be cleaning a significant volume of welds every day, otherwise, the upfront cost might not be justified. It also suits environments where you need a clean, non-abrasive finish, such as aerospace or food processing equipment, because the electrolysis method doesn't introduce metal particles that could contaminate surfaces. On the flip side, if you're a hobbyist who only does a few welds a month, or if your work revolves around thick structural steel that requires heavy grinding anyway, you'll probably get more mileage out of a good grinder or a manual wire brush. The machine also isn't a universal magic wand. It struggles with welds that have been excessively overpainted or coated with thick layers of primer. In those cases, you'll still need to do some prep work before the electrolysis can do its job. Lastly, because the unit relies on an air supply, shops that don't already have a robust compressed air system might find the additional infrastructure cost a bit of a hurdle. Summing up, the HCZKIUJ Weld Bead Electrolysis cleaning machine brings a genuine workflow improvement for shops that need to clean welds quickly, consistently, and without the wear and tear of abrasive tools. Its current/voltage regulation and air power flexibility are the practical strengths that separate it from the cheap, one-size-fits-all cleaners on the market. The main trade-offs are the need for a reliable air supply and the fact that it isn't a cure-all for heavily coated or extremely thick welds. If those constraints line up with your shop's realities, you're looking at a tool that can shave real minutes off each weld, reduce operator fatigue, and keep your production line humming. If this sounds like the tool you need, remember the link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon.